Shalom. I am Rabbi Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. I'm going to talk about this week's Torah reading, at least one part of it. The Torah reading is Parsha Chayei Sarah. And one of the things that take place in this Parsha is that Abraham, wants to get a wife for his son Isaac, for Yitzchak. And he instructs his trusted servant, Eliezer, to go where his family came from and not to take a wife for Yitzchak from the daughters of Canaan, but from his own family, and to find somebody who would be fitting to be the wife of Yitzchak and would be befitting to carry on the traditions of Avraham Avinu. Now we know that one of the great qualities of Avraham Avinu, of Abraham, was the quality of Gemilas Chasadim, doing chesed, doing kindness to other people. And we recognize that from the story we talked about last week when he invited 3 strangers into his tent on a very hot day. He was always interested and always running to do Gemilas Chasadim, to be a chesed, to do kindness to others, because he realized that when God created the world, Olam Chesed Yibana, God created a world of chesed, of kindness. So when we're told to emulate the things that God does, one of the most important things we can do is kindness to others. So Eliezer sets out on this task, and he comes to the place where Avram's family relatives were, and he asks himself, first of all he's praying to God. He says, please help me to find a suitable wife for Yitzchak. And he says, how will I know that I found the right person? And he says to him, V'haya hanara asher amarei leha. When I see a young girl, and I say, and she says to me, Hatena kadech ve'eshte, lower your, when I ask her to give me a drink from her jar of water that she's carrying, the bottle of water that she's carrying, normally she replies to that, Shetei, drink. V'gam gemalecha, I shall also feed your camels. Also, chachtu lavdecha Yitzchak, I will know that this is the person that you have chosen, you've selected for your servant Yitzchak. And then I will know that you have done chesed for me and for my master Abraham. And in fact, Rashi comments on the phrase, Ato chachta, you have chosen. He says, Ruya hi lo lishtei gemelas chasadim. She is fit for him because she will be charitable. Uchadai likonas b'veisru shel Avram, and therefore she'll be worthy of coming into the house of Avram. So what is the chesed that she did? In fact, when he found her by the well, he asked her for a drink of water, and she didn't reply, I'll give you a drink of water, I'll let you drink water, and then your camels can drink. She first gave him the water, says, drink as much as you want. And only after that did she say, now let me feed the camels, give water to the camels. Why did she do that? Because this was an act of kindness on her part. She felt that if she said, I'm going to give you to drink and also your camels at the same time, that he would be in a hurry to drink his water so that the camels can drink. This way he could take his time drinking. Then afterwards, she would take care of the camels. Now the Kli Yakar says a very interesting thing. He says that from what we've just commented on Rashi, she is worthy of being a wife to Yitzchak because she does chesed. She does acts of kindness. And Eliezer learned that the only thing he really needs to check is this kindness, is whether or not she's kindness, whether she's generous. And he said, I won't ask anything other from her other than to give me drink. And if she says, drink, and then I'll give you camels to drink, then I know that she is a person who does chesed. And she's then suitable to marry Yitzchak. And the sages in Masechet Tanis, the Gemara Tanis, said something very interesting. Any bride whose eyes are beautiful does not require examination of her whole body. We know that a lot of people are looking for a shidduch, for a marriage partner, for the zug. And unfortunately, too many people are looking at all sorts of traits, be they physical or economic, instead of really looking into the soul of the person. The sages say that you don't have to do any examination of anything other than look at the eyes. And if the eyes are beautiful, that's enough. The Kli Yakar says, that sounds nice, but it's contradicted by reality. He says, Nebuch, how many ugly women are there in the world who have beautiful eyes? And he said another problem. He says, why are the sages giving advice to look for external beauty? We know that charm is false and beauty is vanity. So rather, it is certain they gave advice to ascertain her deeds. And this is the advice that was given. That you should check if she has a kind eye and purveys acts of loving kindness. An ayin tov, a good eye. If her eyes are kind to creatures around her, then she is without doubt perfect in all her character traits. And you don't have to look anywhere beyond that. That is sufficient. Ayin tov, a good eye. When you look at somebody with graciousness, when you look at somebody and wanting to do chesed to that person, look at somebody with mercy. Look at the beauty of every human being, and look at how can I help this person. The old question is, not what can I do to benefit myself, but how can I benefit somebody else? That's the way you find a shidduch. That's the way Eliezer found this match for Yitzchak. And we saw that in the Parsha, the minute that Rivka was brought into his tent in marriage, all of the miracles that his mother Sarah used to do, which had stopped after Sarah's death, suddenly began again. The Shabbos candles would be lit from one Shabbos to the next. The cloud of glory hung over the tent and other things. So she was truly fitting to replace the mother that he had lost as a wife who would do kindness to everybody. And from this we learned the importance of using our eyes to see what we can do to help another human being, not only in the context of trying to find a match, a marital match, but in every aspect of life to help one another. Thank you for listening on behalf of the web yeshiva.org. I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom.